I'm going to split these talk into two parts. One is initially about women well-being issues and why it is need of our, why we need to take care, at that too with the current scenario. And I will move on to the positive strategies and what else you can do as in mental health professionals, advice or suggestions could be the second part. So stay tuned to join with me next presentation also. It's a disclaimer from my side. So we have been talking about mental health, and it is especially very much required for women. And you all know that the women are, if you really help the women or educate the women at the family, the entire society is actually, entire community is actually, grown and developed up. This has been a saying. So it is very essential for all of us to look into mental health as an aspect for women, especially why it is so special means the very important aspect I have seen. There are a lot of issues. They are vulnerable because they're, because of their dispositions. And we all know that it is very important that to be aware of as in mental health professionals or allied professionals. Women are tend to have more of these kind of a mental health issues because of their, their hormonal disturbances, and they get it in a very periodical manner. And there are a lot of research studies shows that more likely to men, the women experience post-traumatic stress disorder. And when it comes to eating disorder of anorexia, bulimia, it is more among women than men. And it is when it comes to attempting suicide, it is more among the women. But when it comes to the ether, that is the success or the kind of an attempt which is very very severe, it is men is counted high. And women have constantly higher rate of anxiety disorder than men. And depression, very very especially it has been mentioned in depression cases, that is the premarital and also the menstrual cycle related issues, and also the post partum. This is something very unique for women. These are the main important aspects the women are going through when it comes to mental health issues. They're likely to get more. So they are vulnerable, dispositioned in that way. So we are as in professionals and also as a general public, and also who all are being joined in this particular forum must be aware of that why women need to be treated very specially, because if they have been very sound health, if they are taking care of themselves, if their well-being is assured at home, it is going to generate among the other generations also, because they are the primary caretakers for your children, isn't it? So it is very essential for all of us to give our best to take care of the women and support our women at home. So why such a kind of an webinar, that too at this period? Because there is a need, there is a cry, there is a lot of people come out and share their experience. So I'm going to give you a lot of case presentations also to make you understand. And very important concept to understand, health is a state of complete positive physical, mental, with encompass emotional and social well-being, and not merely absence of the disease. So if everything is fine, nothing is there, there is no disease, why do you say that you are not healthy? Shouldn't be a question from your side. You should make a point that how best we can actually provide a well-being for the women at home. So with this, I am moving on to the next, which is, having set the floor that how women are so special to take care, because they have predispositions, they are vulnerable because of their hormonal and other important aspects. So as in women, they go through in the period like the menstrual cycle, and also premenstrual, and also the very important postmortem after the delivery, they have an issues. And when they are having an menopause also, perimenopause also, and also menopause. These are the aspects we need to take care, and we need to consider this, especially during the menopause. A lot of issues are arising with respect to the women. We need to really take care of and give a ear and also listen to them. So the current scenario is adding fuel to the fire. Don't you feel that? So we all are going through, especially the women across the lifespan, are experiencing direct challenge and threat towards the physical health. because of the infection, whether I will get infected or whether I will get a problem related to this and all that. And when it comes to mental health, they have been into there as a we have a lot of discrimination still in our society, that as a woman you are supposed to do certain aspects, you are likely to do these, and this is your duty, this is been expected out of you. Mom, the breakfast is not ready yet. All these expectations, set expectation, the mindset towards women are being already generated and been there in the society for a quite long time. The stereotypical attitude towards women. So we have to really think of this aspect also when it comes to this particular period. The women have been overloaded. They work, they go for an outside work, that is to earn money, and also they have an household chores, and they are also into kind of a cleaning, mopping, and other aspects, and take care of the entire aspects and hygiene, food, and everything they have to, and purchase and everything. They are in home ministry. They are entirely taking care. So this really add on fuel to the fire. And well-being is questioned because the resting time, their no time of being, their need time, they miss out. No, if they are going to home, at least they get a chance once in a month. They go for an nice massage and into the beauty parlor. Now that is also shut. There is no possibility at all. So there are a lot of self grooming is lost, and there are so many things aspects they are missing out. And there is a think about a future. There is an always a kind of an orientation. Women think in the entire family, what will happen to my children, what will happen to my husband's job or a business. If they are in business, how it is going to again regenerate back, and all these are running in the back of the mind. And when it comes to a cognitive, there is a lot of negative aspects, negative thoughts, when it a lot of confusions, delay in decisions, because of there are so many curtails and so many barriers for all of us. And we get a lot of newses, lot of disturbing newses from other side also. The entire society is in a distress, so we are able to sense it. So there is something called a contemporary happiness. The நம்ம வாழற காலத்துல இருக்கிற எல்லார்கிட்டயும் இருக்க happiness we are also நாம பகிர்ந்துக்கிறோம். So that is a major aspect also is missing out. You can see there's a lot of people in the segments are getting distracted and disturbed. That is actually disturbing us. People who are in mental health professionals, you are also a frontline worker working for people who are in need. So we need to really look at this case as in how it is going to affect in and especially social life. It is really going to be an threat directly, because we cannot go and meet people. We meet only through this Zoom. We meet only through this online platform, which is we miss all the social connections. And this is a very great threat, and current scenario is throwing a lot of stones against women because of this particular aspects I have listed out. But there are other aspects also may be there other than this, because of their own issues related to their own personal positions in their life. For example, they have not settled in their job, they have not got into an good position, or they are looking for a job. There are a lot of other issues related to that. So with their personal position also, there may be a lot of other unexpected, unplanned issues may be there for them also. So when you really look holistically with this feeling of overwhelmed, helplessness, hopelessness, feeling guilty without any clear cause, and spending a lot of time worrying, they will be worrying, simply worrying, ruminating thoughts of worries, and then having difficulty in thinking or remembering. I don't remember dates or something, and sleeping too much or too little. They are not able to rest. Even there is a time given to them, you need not do anything, you keep yourself in a rest. That time also they're not able to sleep. Having changes in appetite, and they are not able to eat more, or they eat more, that is more than what they used to consume. They are having a lot. And then somebody are getting into altering substance abuse or something. It's in still it is the percentage of usage of alcohol and no nicotine where, when it comes to women are very less when it compared to men, but there is a slow increase in that rate also when it comes to young adults that need to be really looked into. And isolated from people activities, they don't feel like mingling, they don't feel. And this current scenario is also is kind of, you cannot go and mingle with people because you don't have a social gathering, you don't have a social outlet, you don't go to mall, you don't go to cinema, you don't go to beach, you don't go where you have been enjoying so far. So there were an entertainment list you had in your plan, it's all striked out now because you don't go out. A simple walk is also a threat now. So this is something is which we need to really look at this perspective of these, and also experiencing fatigue. So the excessive kind of fatigue because of they are not able to process the entire work or workload or related to other aspects. Dr. Veena has covered the work-life balance, how it can impact on our health and mental health, which I'm actually looking for the emotional well-being and emotional wealth. So the emotional wellness is something is very, very important for all of us to really look into when it comes to women, especially. And having difficulty keeping up with the daily tasks, they may not be able to do the routine and they're not able to experience, they're able to do their best in their presence. They used to do a routine of this, that itself is getting distracted. So and experiencing new unexplained pain, they feel என்னமோ கஷ்டமா இருக்குங்க. They used to say when they come to counseling, they say எனக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்குங்க, இங்க போட்டு அழுத்துதுங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So they feel the pain in their chest or something, they're not able, unexplainable pain or something which they used to complain to us. So these are the aspects we need to really, and what are the concerns they have about their performance, because the productivity has come down and it is it is actually indulging in long hours of work and pay is not reflecting to that. And they are also finding it very, very difficult when it comes to when they come to their control over work, because they keep their keep adding on to their workload. So this is finding, they find it very difficult to balance both and as well as say no, or because they are in always in a thought that if I miss out the job, what will happen? There is an always insecurity because my uncle's daughter is quit the job and she is not finding a job during this pandemic. Nobody is providing job and people are going to job. It is underemployment is very high now. So I am really worried about it. I cannot say no. Also, I have to keep dumping all the works the boss is giving. So the relationship with colleagues and managers is disturbed because they are not in peace. That is reflected in relationship. And this, when it comes to experience of relationship with partners, when it comes to others, nowhere so far in your life, just in your honeymoon period, you would have been with your spouse for a quite long time. I don't think so. You would have been with your spouse for 24 hours after that for a quite long time. So this particular experience of having it lockdown and pandemic, you cannot go outside. You have to be with your spouse all the time and meeting all the expectations and demands close family members. It is something an unusual aspect which we all are facing right now, isn't it? Undergoing major life changes like moving home or childbirth or something along with this pandemic also. You just imagine, it is unimaginable pain for them. Living in a neighborhood of faces inequity. For example, you are not in connection with the neighbor, or you have changed your place, you don't have a connection with your neighbor, or you lost your neighborhood people who are due to this pandemic. There is a lot of other deprivation may arise, and this interpersonal relationships issues are very, very huge now. And I'll tell you, there is a lot of cases we see when it comes to relationship where they come with a problem which has been there, which has been precipitating for a quite long time. But now during this pandemic, during this particular 2 years, there are a lot of relationship issues are popping up because they come into a surface level. No more I can tolerate with you, I really wanted to get rid of you. There are a lot of people come and say that I have been standing with this guy, I could not tolerate hereafter, please let me get divorced. There are a lot of people say that because now it is popping up the surface. Suppressed emotions towards this particular person and relationship is surfacing now. We as a mental health professional has to be aware of all these warning signs. And feeling lonely, isolated, it is very common. There are young adults call us and say that I don't know what to do, I'm feeling very lonely, I feel that I am missed out, I feel that I'm I am not enjoying the life of a young adult. I couldn't bear this because I'm not able to see my friends, and I miss out a huge part of my life where I feel energized, and also being loud is my with being with my peers and friends, which I am actually which I cannot do right now, which is really making me feel low. These are the young adult statements. And it's a very important aspect, the economical shutdown, the economical crisis, which is a major alarm for many of the people. So people who are getting into early marriage or early marriage period, or getting a commitment, or they would have been planned with a lot of enthusiasm that I would like to have loans for my house, I would like to invest for my car, I would like to pay EMI because we both are earning and all. But now with a lot of cut short in the salary, and the people are finding it very difficult to pay their EMI. And there are a lot of people who are in business are finding it very difficult to manage their crisis because of their rotation or unavailability. Market is not open, demand is not there, but there are a lot of stock which has been stored in their storeroom without usage. There's a lot of trouble they are facing. They say that every day I get a nightmare, my entire warehouse is getting fired, or some of them said that it's destroyed because of rats, and I don't know, I have 2 crores of stock in my godown, I don't know when I'm going to sell it out, I'm just looking for some way to dump it in the distributors. I'm looking for that day, then only I will sleep. There are a lot of clients talk about this also. So various issues we are getting, having an unhealthy lifestyle, because there is no time schedule, there is no schedule for me to follow, I don't go to my work on my time, so I wake up very late, and that will actually I end up my breakfast in a very late manner, and then the lunch will go to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and sometimes midnight I sleep, and sometimes I don't sleep. There's a lot of issues related to health, lifestyle, which I'm not going to peep in, because Dr. Veena has covered about circadian rhythms and other aspects. Smoking, which is in direct threat, people who have been smokers have been challenged very greatly with this infection of corona, because it is directly affecting the lungs, and there have been people who have been having that it's totally irreversible, so they get into the trouble of when infection is very high. So, and being quarantined, being in the hospital, managing hospital logistics, food supply for them, and if there is any other people at home is also affected, how the women will take care of them. If the women itself is infected, what will happen to the other people at home? There's a lot of messy things are happening around. They are in total chaos. They don't know if the women at home is disturbed. They find it very difficult to manage. They say that if my wife is healthy, probably I would have managed them. All at home are finding it very difficult to manage. These are the nutshell of, I'm giving nutshell of the the warning signs and the problems and the issues which is popping up during this pandemic period. Whatever we have done the counseling based on the essence I have pulled down here. So I'm giving you the case one. I want all of you to reflect on this, and probably you can come out with your own problems related to that. And I make sure that you put it in chat box. It need not be yours. You can refer to somebody's name or give and kind of a tentative name for that, so that it is not identifiable. So with this, I would like to give the first case. 23-year-old, I'm finding difficult to rest. I'm worried about my future. I'm getting frustrated for even small deeds. I cannot even, tolerate the smallest things which is happening around me. My all the people who are at my, at my place are irritating me in one way or the other way, by questioning me, by advising me, by giving some, tips to me. And my brother is irritating me. My father is irritating. All that she has been mentioning, my family members are upset for my behavior. This is what she said, that you can identify. No, that this I would like to discuss with you all, so that it will become an easy way of understanding each of those emotions, and how, what are the very major important emotional, or a kind of an turmoil she is going through. Could you please come out in chat, or you can also unmute yourself and talk. I wish if you, some of you switch on your video, it will be very great to look into, because we are emotionally connected to each other through this. If you can mention what is that the case, you wanted to see the case, I can always. So the case is about 23-year-old finding difficult to rest, worried about the future, frustrated for even small deeds, and family is very upset of my behavior, getting irritated for even small things around, not able to adjust with the family members, finding it very difficult, and often finding it, upsetting kind of.
One issue with this 23-year-old, maybe some hormonal issues, mood swings can also happen. That is one way that we need to understand. That can be one of our reasons. We need to understand and handle those things and take some relaxation things and go things with slowly take things forward rather getting everything in our mind.
Wait, I think it is Mr. Jay Chandran voice.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for throwing light on that. Of course, we need, as a counselors, as a mental health professional or an allied mental health professional, has to be really aware of what is that person is going through, age related or anything hormone related, any physiological aspects we need to rule out first. That's a fantastic one, Mr. Jay. And then fear, anxiety about future. That's a good one. And anxiety and depressed, lot of uncertainties in mind. Okay, so we most of the time we assume things, but the anxiety is something which is very, very obvious. I couldn't rest, worried about my future. It's a clue, isn't it? So we have to really look for such a kind of an aspect that person 23-year-old, and she has complete. I have not even mentioned the gender here, because even that is not needed, but here I have to say, because of the hormone aspects you have mentioned. So this particular person has finished her degree and waiting for a job. She has done an internship also. She is looking for a job opportunity, but she is finding it very difficulty. But the kind of a job what she is looking for is not matching for what she is opting for. So this is the kind of an chaotic situation she is in. So she is thinking that the future is something yet blurred, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to settle down? It is a kind of an anxiety towards what is about my future. It's well said. Somebody, Anita has told about that. Anybody else? Anything else? You get a point from there. Of course, I'm anxious, I'm frustrated. What else she is mentioning here? Somebody can unmute and talk. It is nice to hear your voice.
Ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Sangeeta. So I personally think that she might not have got enough family support in terms of the hardships which she have gone through. So because of that fear, she would have misunderstood, okay, whatever things comes to her or him might affect their future. So first they need to discuss with their family what is actually going through. And then the person has to take a proper medication, like peaceful exercises will really help them.
Fantastic. So you're talking about the strategies also to overcome. That's nice. So I'm talking about identification period, phase itself. She's frustrated for even small things. That means she's not living in peace. She's in worry. She's in anxiety. She's not living in worry is something related to she's getting a lot of negative thoughts about her future settlement of job or other aspects. And she's also getting a lot of frustration with family members. She's not in peace at all. She's upset. So somewhere the family and her relationship has been totally in distress. So we need to really address this issue also. Somewhere we have to correct over there as a support system, because during this pandemic she cannot go out. She cannot go out and also talk to someone. And probably she may be thinking that I'm not earning money, so I cannot go out and check out for a counselor also right now. So this is one of the call we attended through an helpline. In that case, how it is going to help that person is something we need to really look for. And somebody talk about guilty not having a job, and we're getting deeper into that. So she's actually afraid whether I will get a job. She's afraid whether I will get a good job with a good amount of money. And she is also frustrated that people are being, advising her, get into a job, you do this interview, do well, and everybody is talking these terms to her. So she's been in point of time, her brother has told that summa vettiya thana irukka idu enakku help panna appdin. So she's been felt that I'm waste at home, I'm not doing anything, she felt like. So the very important aspect over here, as an, as a mental health professionals, we need to understand one of the very important aspect to validate their emotions. First and foremost, acknowledge, validate, and empathize with the person. You are giving a real tweak for them while they are actually in the flood. You just give them a kind of a support when you are doing this. Somebody is able to understand my feelings, somebody is able to lend here holistically, somebody is able to feel how I'm feeling, is itself is a great help for them. So that is the first and foremost important step we need to take care. And then only we have to really move on with the problem of self, problem with interpersonal, problem with how they are positioning themselves, and how they are looking at their, a job and other prospects, and then probably require some kind of a career counseling. We need to focus on that later on with these aspects. But connecting their emotions are foremost important first point, because already they are in a very great dilemma, difficult situation with the distress. So we have to really soothe them, help them to ease, and then come closer to share all the information. So this is one of the four important aspect I need to. And also she is main to, she has mentioned that I get problem, I get really frustrated. That means there is a barrier, and then you keep on adding to that barrier, then they get frustrated at one point. So the tolerance level of the person is a question mark over here. So I'm not assuming, I need to talk to the person. How often you get frustrated, what are the things you feel that you have noticed, whether it is really disturbing you, is it something which if you compare with another person in our home, this is something very small, but I'm still looking at it, because she mentions that even for smallest thing I'm getting, irritated or frustrated. So that means the person itself has a perception about these are small things, but I'm taking it too high. So in that case, we need to really look into the tolerance level has come down, means what could be the reason? Is it because of the hormone, as you said, or it is because of the mood swing, or it is because of, the kind of an ruminating thought she has about herself, that is her confidence level or self-esteem is very low. We need to really look into this case in deep on that. And most importantly, how she is regulating her emotions are very important here. So in the case, I need to repair this person for regulating their emotions, first understanding their emotions, and then giving them an elevation to a surface level, what is this person is going through. And next, the person is complaining about certain concerns, we need to address that. While addressing the concerns, we will find out the black spots, that is the problems what the person is, the client is facing. It may be related to the interpersonal relationship, it may be for a quite long time now, it is surfaced in the pandemic period, or it may be related to the problem of their, health or something, or there may be a bossy relationship inside the family, or there may be abusive relationship or critical parenting also there. So we need to really look into that and correct that aspect. And we have to, as a counselor, we have to really look into this case. The person who has come to us as a client, we need to empower and equip and also strengthen the person who is in contact with us, not rather the other people at home. So this is a very important aspect we deal as a mental health professionals. So moving on with a small exercise of this case discussion, moving on with another case. It is quite interesting because you all are also participating. I really like that. So I wish you all come forward. There is no right or wrong answer, because one person's emotions and one person understanding about an emotion may be totally different. That's the reason we all counsel in a very different way. Each one have their own style. So you need not think about whether it is right or wrong. Just go ahead with your answers. I am from a broken family. It is difficult to adjust with people. I have terrible fear of being in relationship. I feel I am helpless at this moment. As I am the reason for my situation, though people around, I am feeling alone. Can we have a discussion, please? I'm looking for some of your mics on and talk, please. Come forward. There is no right or wrong, no, because we all definitely would have gone through some of the cases in our lifetime. And also during this pandemic, would have listened, so many people are talking like this. I'm going one more time. So I am from a broken family. It may be their parents are not in terms, and it is difficult to adjust with people. I have terrible fear of being in relationship. I feel I'm helpless, and at this moment, it's very important at this moment, as I am the reason for my situation. There are a lot of people around me, but I'm still feeling alone. Come and share it. It may be in the chat also if you don't want to unmute yourself.
Doctor?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, Mr. Guna. Yeah.
This is just my opinion, my sharing. Since she's coming from a broken family, definitely a child, she had a very bad childhood, the traumatic and adverse childhood experiences. That would have lead her to become a vulnerable woman. Even though I don't know about her education, even though she's highly educated, that childhood, bad childhood lead to the current personality and current mental health issues. So, here the childhood play a very key role. We have to study the childhood, how that have contributed to the current situation, current personality, and current challenges. That's my view.
Okay, Guna. Thank you so much. Guna has joined from Malaysia. Thank you so much. Anybody else, please? Anybody else? Actually, there's a great, that's a great outlook, and you have taken it very importantly. The broken family, the person itself has told, means it matters a lot for them. So I am from a broken family means the child has not processed that at all. The person maybe, I have not mentioned about the age of this person. This person is now in an adolescent period. I am from a broken family. It is very difficult to adjust with people. So this person is not having an kind of an, trustworthy relationship problem with trust building, and the distress, mistress, we would have studied the attachment pattern would have the child have been disturbed. So this person is not able to rely on relationship, not able to have a trustful relationship. So that is actually continuing. So this particular pandemic period, since the person is not able to mingle with the other person, she find it very difficult being very isolated in a place. She's finding it very difficult that I am alone. I cannot also go and have a relationship. I'm finding it difficult because I never had such a kind of a smooth relationship in my life. And till now I'm feeling alone because I don't have an outlet at all. I don't go out. I attend only online classes. It is even more troubling me because I'm alone has been restated to me in very great extent. In fact, this person has a very mild depression also. So, having said that, it is very essential for all of us as a mental health professionals to look into the details of the case and also connect with them, and also emotionally be bonded with them, build a very good rapport with them, and also that journey will give them a kind of a security support and kind of an handholdness, because they are trusting you so much and coming forward. You are the third person to that person, but they are very open towards you. That is only assuming that you are going to keep up the confidentiality, you are going to be there to help them, kind of an hope and trust in you. So this is required for all of us as a mental health professional to look into. I think our time is do I have 10 more minutes, Vaijayanti, so that I can finish the other case and wind up this today's session?
Maybe, ma'am, you can give them as a homework because you're continuing the next time, right? So that they can have some preparation and come back in the next session.
That's a fantastic idea, Vaijayanti. Okay. So having said this case, and we had a discussion about that, and moving on to the next case. This is something you can look into this case. And as Dr. Vaijayanti mentioned, you all note down and come out with your own points for the next session. I'm really getting angry often. If things are not happening as I wanted, I yell at my children if they are messy. This pandemic really ruined my peace, and my family members are little upset with me. I'm afraid I may lose their love. It's a very essential case, and we will have the discussion in the forthcoming session. Take a screenshot of this case so that you can work on it. I really want all of you to really work on this and come out with an beautiful answers as you can try. And definitely join with me, because we have done one part of it, case presentation and discussions we had. They're going to move on with the understanding of emotions and strategies, how emotional well-being could be nurtured. I'm going to talk about that in the next session. So join with me later on also in the session. We will be sending the link. With this note, I'm finishing my today's talk, the part of